That's the only one I should read the story.
He was the Coons, how they found out from school. Was it give them any money for this project?
Excited about. And can you give us the two sentence description, because you're going to talk later.
That's fine. It's a social media hub that lets you pursue your passions. It's a technology-based company.
The county executive for today.
Yeah.
This is great. I have a couple of things that maybe we can work out. Could you sign a few things? You have signed it? You do.
Just for today.
Just for today. That's all I needed for
We're
it.
keeping you away from him. He's one of the reasons I'm in this job. So if I do a bad job, it's your fault.
Congratulations.
Yeah, so say two sentences, because you're going to talk later.
Okay, so we're a software development company.
And the lady who runs it is an RN, and she is a certified minority business in Prince George's County
Great.
as well.
Oh, we like that.
Yeah, I'm sorry that she's not here for you to meet. You will like her very much.
We're glad.
Yeah. Sure. So we're going to continue to tour down here. You probably know this character though.
I do. Oh, this is great. It's good.
How are you?
Hi,
Hi, Sherman Dyson, and you are?
Lauren Price.
Good to meet
She's
you.
the county executive for DEC.
Oh, hey, we got some stuff for you to sign over here.
They are physically located with us. So we are the only incubator in Maryland that has a Maryland Women's Business Center office. And the office for Prince George's County is right here. Kaisha's counselor, Angie Duncanson, she serves the whole county, and she's here 4 days a week, and we do all kinds of amazing things. So you'll see when I talk about statistics how. Small Business Technology Development Center, which is one of our other, we have 3 key counseling partners, the Maryland Women's Business Center, the Small Business Development Center, and the Procurement Technical Assistance Program, which is the federal procurement folks. Small Business Development Center counselor Melissa Dent, she's actually meeting with the client. So clients come and they meet our counselors, they meet Melissa, they meet Angie, they meet Richard. They do it right here at Blue Bay. So every week we have 3 different counselors. And as luck will have it, we have Dee Nelson down here. So
I'm not Angie or Crystal.
No, she's not.
Hey,
She's
how are
neither
you?
one.
Lauren?
Yes.
All right, pleasure to meet you. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Great, great, great. So what are you going to do when you graduate? Are you going to go to Bowie State University or?
Probably here at University of Maryland.
Oh, great.
Yeah, but tell them about your family connection.
Okay, I'm gonna count to 3 on this one. 1, 2, 3. And I think you have some other photographers.
Yes, Mom,
Make sure-
congrats.
Bonnie Moore of Golden Girls Network. And she's
Hi, Return Baker. I love the name.
like that. And Regina is her right hand lady. And if you could just kind of give us because you're going to talk 2 sentences about Golden Girls.
Golden Girls Network is a electronic matching system for mature people who want to share housing like the Golden Girls.
Really?
This is great for the aging in place industry.
Wow.
Yes. We match people up and share housing.
So
is fantastic.
who are not ready to be in a nursing home, but they don't need the responsibility
Right.
of cutting the grass and, winterizing the basement and those kinds of things. So, yeah.
I've had a Golden Girls home for 8 years.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
So is that where did you get the idea of doing this?
From my personal experience.
So we'll stop
I'll
there.
tell my
She's gonna-
story.
She's going to tell her story.
Or can you make that?
Yeah. So our companies can, because they work long hours sometimes, they're here on the weekends, they can, do some popcorn, nuke a dinner, but they can come here, put their feet up, relax a little bit, just kind of get out of the office. So it's not busy right now, but it's busy at other times running a show. A realistic partnership between early stage businesses and students and faculty members. That was the idea.
By the way, you asked the question, she didn't give the answer.
Oh.
The Golden Girls, that came from the TV show.
I know.
Yeah, but she has patented the name.
Yeah.
So
Really?
so she can use it. Yeah,
So
yeah.
you may not know the Golden Girls because you're way too
You're too
young.
young,
But,
Good morning and welcome, a special welcome to our county executive of the day, and of course her assistant for the day is the real county executive, Mr. Baker. My name is Adam Santavica, and I'm the chairman of the board of the Bowie Business Innovation Center. It's also known as the Bowie BIC. Our business incubation program is the youngest and fastest growing incubation program in Prince George's County. Bowie Bick is an independent, nonprofit organization, and our board of directors is comprised of area business leaders. 3 weeks ago, we celebrated our 3rd anniversary here at Bowie State University. We are the only business innovation program in Maryland located on the campus of a historically black institution, and the only Maryland Business Incubation Program co-located with Maryland Women Business Center office. And with that, I'm going to hand this off to Dean Nelson. Dean Nelson has really been an advocate for the Bowie Bick, and we love all the attention we get from him. And by the way, President Brennan was to speak here today, but because of a scheduling conflict, and he really tried to stay long enough, but he had to get to a meeting in Baltimore. So hopefully next time we can get together again. Okay, Dean Nelson.
Thanks, Adam. Well, oh, thank you very much. Mr. County Executive and Miss County Executive for the day, pleasure to have you here. I'm not the president for the day, but on behalf of the president and the faculty and staff and students at Bowie State University, I'd like to welcome you to the campus. And then on behalf of the College of Business faculty, staff, and students, I would like to welcome you to the Center for Business. It's great to have you here and great to make this presentation in front of you. What we're trying to do and doing in the College of Business and with the Bowie Bick is to create sort of an entrepreneurship ecosystem. And we started with the tail end over here. We were able to have the Bowie Bick in this very building, and as a result, we then started to build the front end of the system. So this is sort of the tail end. We wanted to work on those neighborhoods in Prince George's County. We have great contacts with the high schools in Prince George's County and some of the TNI neighborhoods. We work with Barry Stanton and Corey, his assistant, or used to be his assistant. I think he moved on. But we worked with those high schools, and then we had our first annual high school summer camp and entrepreneurship competition last year. We didn't have it this year. We partnered with Citigroup and with Nifty. Nifty is also in some of the high schools. But this year we didn't have it, but we're going to follow up next year and have it. And this fall or spring, we will probably have a business idea competition for the high school students on campus here. And then we have our annual student business idea competition. It says business plan up there, but we have a business idea competition, and that's for the Bowie State University students. And we're hoping that some of those high school students will matriculate, continue to be involved with entrepreneurship, and we then will get them in the business idea competition. From there, those winners and even other students on campus get a chance to go into the business hatchery. The purpose is to help them start their own business and then generate some revenue. As part of the motivation, as they're in the student business hatchery, they will compete and we'll help them compete in regional national business plan competitions. Those students can go to Atlanta, Georgia, where they have the OFC Venture Challenge. They can go to University of Maryland College Park, where they have the Cupid's Cup Challenge, and Towson, they have a challenge here, but they've got them all around the country. Carnegie Mellon, they have a venture challenge there. And that gives them the motivation to start their own business. But from the business idea to the business plan, and then we hope that they will be candidates to enter into the Bowie Business Innovation Center, the Bowie Bick, and then back into the neighborhood. So we've got an entrepreneurship ecosystem here. We've had 3, we're getting ready to have our 3rd business idea competition on campus. And if you go to the next slide, you know, your mission determines your coalition. And we've got a great coalition of individuals here that will help these high school students and college students learn more about entrepreneurship and start their own businesses. So we've got the TNI liaisons down there, we've got NIFTY, we've got the Entrepreneurship Academy Advisory Council, we've got the Entrepreneurs in Residence. We also have an executive director and students working with her, and Lisa and Bowie Big have been great participators in the Entrepreneurship Academy with the student business idea competition, as well as the high school summer camp competition. And then we have our Bowie State University faculty liaisons throughout the campus. So I could talk all day about our Entrepreneurship Academy, but I've been limited in my time, and I will stick to that 3-minute time period, but I'll be happy to answer any questions after all the presentations are over. So thank you very much for this time.
Want to say something about the future?
Oh, the future. I should have started off with this. We are going to have an entrepreneurship major.
Really?
Actually, it has been approved all the way through the president's office. We're just waiting on MHEC approval. So as long as the Maryland Higher Education Commission says it's okay, we're going to move forward with our entrepreneurship major. This will give us a captured audience. These students will have to participate in the business idea competition. They will have to compete in with the business plan competitions regionally and nationally. But the entrepreneurship major and concentration is so critical to the students today, because many of them don't want to work for a corporation or for government. They want to work for themselves. They want to be job creators as opposed to workers. And then we'll have the minor for those students who are non-business majors, but they are looking for the business foundation. So what we're really focused on is enhancing the experiential learning process among our students. The students really need the hands-on activities in order to learn. Gone are the days where you have the professor or the sage on the stage lecturing. The students want to get their hands dirty. So the more we do that, the better off we'll be. And that's one of the great reasons why we're excited to have the Bowie Big here, is because the students get a chance to see a real live entrepreneur, a person who has started their own business, a person who's dealing with accounting problems, dealing with marketing problems, as opposed to them reading about those marketing problems in the book. They can hear about it from one of the individuals in the classroom as they visit, and they can help them solve their problems. So we've had one professor who has worked with one of the Bowie Big clients on a marketing problem, and he turned the students loose on the marketing problem, and the students came up with some solutions for that marketing problem. So that's what we're excited about, helping the students learn. So again, thank you very much. Did I miss anything else?
No, you're good.
All right, great. All right, thank you very much.
No,
It's a
thank
great
you.
to have you. And on behalf of the College of Business, we want to present this to the county exec for the day. You've got some goodies in there, and to the assistant county exec. We want to present you with the gift.
Present it up here so I can get a
Oh, yeah,
picture.
please.
You can hold it first.
You'd both be holding it, actually.
Okay.
Yes.
Let's go on 3. 1, 2, and
Like the
Three?
acceptance letter to Bowie State.
Stay right.
We're good.
Okay.
All right, great. Yeah, this does mean that she
That's
commits to
right.
Bowie State University.
That's right. Their women's basketball team needs a ringer.
Oh, okay.
You know, I just figured out there's a reason why we're here first. Calvin Hawkins.
all 3 guys. 1, 2, and 3. Beautiful.
Wait, one more. One more. You join. Now I want you to join.
First, put your right in the middle.
Hold yours up too.
All right, count us one more time, please. And again on three. 1, 2, and 3. Beautiful. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Dean Nelson.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Mr. Hawkins, how are we doing for time?
15 minutes.
Great.
Can you wrap it up?
Yep, okay. I have provided a pretty comprehensive slide presentation in the briefing kits for the county exec for the day and her assistant, Mr. Baker. And I am going to go very quickly through those because we ended up talking about many of the things in the slides as we toured, because I'm anxious for the 4 companies to get a chance to tell you a little bit about their businesses, because I think that's going to be the interesting piece. I do think it's important to mention, though, that as we discussed, we are an economic development program. Business incubation is the process of building businesses and nurturing them and accelerating their growth. And you do that with mentoring, facilities, networks, access to capital, all kinds of things. And we're very committed as a program to building businesses and making sure that they are sustainable when they leave our program. We fully understand that we're also an economic development tool, as we talked about as we toured around. And so you will not be surprised when I tell you that our mission is all about companies, jobs, and economic development. That was the reason that we were established. And because we're here at Bowie State, as we just saw with Dean Nelson, we have a very special relationship with the university that allows us to have a dual mission, which is the economic development piece, but also the student and experiential learning piece. And so the two mission ideas work together. As Mr. Sedovica said, we are an independent nonprofit organization, and so we exist because we have numerous funding partners, numerous program partners. And you can see on the bottom of the slide here, you saw in our management suite, we are funded by not only Prince George's County, but also the city of Bowie. And we have, the university is a special sponsor on the facility side, but we have corporate sponsors as well. And I think that keeps us very close to the market is all that I would really say for that. We've talked about a number of the highlights that we are proud of for the year. We're very proud that we're the 11th largest business incubation program in the state of Maryland, even before we were at our 3rd year. Only the TAP incubator in College Park is bigger than we are, and they are almost 40 years old. And so I'm going to go really quickly through this. We talked about the Maryland Women's Business Center. Just here at Bowie BIC last year, 650 women nearly came through our program to get counseling. And we've launched some new programs, tech meetups, and I was happy to be part of the 2nd annual Student Idea Competition and worked as a judge. And you will hear a little bit in a minute or two here from the 2015 Bowie Incubator Business of the Year award winner, Marcellus Major of Avant-Garde Engineering. The 2014 winner you'll also hear from Sonia Hobson. Student Idea Competition winners, this was just really a great activity, and then Marcellus was kind enough to follow up with the companies. Marcellus, as I mentioned, was the Incubator Business of the Year, and we'll hear more from him in a minute. A little bit of data, job generation we're tracking with our companies, corporate revenues for our companies, the on-site counselors. You've seen 2 of 3 organizations that are here, and we started this new program, Tech Meetup Bowie, over 130 technology guys and gals have come and taken advantage of those activities. You've seen a lot of Adam talking today, and I see in the back Mr. King from the City of Bowie, one of our board members who is still here, but you also met Mr. Ragland, and you met Kelly Pierce, and Sherman and Kelly and John were here representing our board today. You have not had much chance to see my right-hand lady, Crystal Simpkins, because she has been making sure that everything ran smoothly today, but we are a very, very small staff of 2 that makes all of our companies crazy. They would definitely take that. this is a list of our companies. There's a list of the companies in your kit there, and we'll come on to focus on a couple of them specifically. When we were walking around, I talked about how we work with companies two ways. Companies can be resident in our program and have an office, and you met some of those companies, or they can be affiliated with our programs where they are not here, but they are financially contributing to the program because our companies pay fees to be in our program. So we have multiple revenue streams for Bowie-Bick. And we also talked about the fact that we do not have a tight technology focus. We are professional service, IT, cyber, social media, all different kinds of companies to represent the community, not only here in Greater Bowie, but the community in Prince George's County. And of those companies that have worked with us, the entrepreneurs that have come to us, every single council-manning district in Prince George's County is represented in the companies that are using our programs. And the companies that are residents in our program, they represent a mix of council-manning districts themselves. So this is really a program for the entire county. We're a comprehensive incubation program with business mentoring at the very top of our list. We've talked about some of the other special things that we provide to our clients, informal chances to get together, coffee breaks. I talked about how we had Roland Jones here. We had several people. Roland was the one that stayed the longest. I mentioned that particular activity. And we also work with student interns. So we're an interesting program mix for companies. Monthly events, these are some of the things that we talked about. Partnership is our middle name, and these are the three organizations that we have talked about that you've met. Here's some of the statistics from the Maryland Women's Business Center. Almost as I said, 640 businesses. 48% of their client base in the whole state is here in Prince George's County. And again, we are only as good as the people that we can work with, and we work pretty much widely across the board in the county, within the state, and within the region, and nationally with groups like the U.S. Small Business Administration. The Dean talked a lot about our relationship with the university, and it's a critical piece to what makes Bowie-Bick different and gives us vitality in the way that we can work with students and with companies. A couple of new things that we did not talk about. One of our new corporate sponsors, Capital One, is launching a program around accelerating women business owners' use of growth capital. We're going to be moving our tech meetups around the county. There's also a fledgling business meetup group that we're working with. I am hoping that we're going to be able to do some dolphin tank, as they're called, practice pitch sessions, both for marketing your company and for getting funding for your company. So, having said all that quite breathlessly, I apologize for that, but I wanted to get to the four companies that I wanted you to hear from. So we're going to hear from four of them in really kind of quick succession with a little more detail than what they told you in their offices. And so I'm going to they're all seated up here, so Sonia, we'll get started with you. Sonia is fresh off of an interview yesterday with WOL Radio, where she was the featured business interview of the day, I think, with Pat Thornton. Sonia was the 2014 Bowie Incubator Business of the Year. That was the first time the award was given, and Sonia got the award. So I will do your slides properly, so you can try to
stand out of the light.
Yeah.
Thank you, Lisa. And I know you guys are on a tight schedule, so I'm going to make it really, really brief.
But they have this in their kit too. So.
You have all the slides. We'll do it just like we do when we do a training. It's in your slides. Our numbers are in the back. If you have any questions, please call. So when you want to get in and get out. But we started our company May 6, 2010. We just celebrated our 5-year anniversary, and it was a phenomenal experience. We were able to bring in previous partners, current partners, future partners, and just wanted to really say thank you to all of the people that had been such a help to us as we were growing the business. My background, I mentioned, I are an engineer. That's my background. I started with an undergrad degree in physics from Norfolk State. I went on to Georgia Tech for graduate study, then I came to University of Maryland and did mechanical engineering, and I realized I liked, yes, I'm a member of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated, Prince George's County Alumni Chapter.
We like that.
Yeah, you know, some stuff you never forget no matter how old you are, right? But I started off in engineering, and when I started at Norfolk State, they didn't have a program called industrial engineering. I did a summer internship at Virginia Tech, and they did. And I love that because industrial engineering and operations research is really people and process engineering. So when I went and did my undergrad work, they didn't have it, but where's Dean Nelson? I merged my electives with the School of Business. So while I did my technical studies, I also moved forward and did that. I started off in nuclear power for 13 years doing systems design, so pumps, wires. I was down at Calvert Cliffs, so we were a part of BG&E before they became whoever they are now. Still have stock invested, which is wonderful. Life is good. But I left there and moved over to NASA Goddard Space Flight Center, and I was an engineering manager there for 8 years, where I had about 20 different space missions that were under the control of my team. And again, I spent more time studying how to get the most out of my people than just the pure engineering. I did the engineering, but it was just something about having both pieces. So when our company has grown, we started off by working with people in detention centers that were transitioning out, and we actually helped them develop the systematic process of re-entering the workforce. It's not just your resume, it's not just your interview, it's how do you talk to people, how do you navigate yourself on the job, how do you manage your perception and your perspective to merge it into the workforce. So we started that, and it was as a favor to a friend. And the next thing I know, I've got, you guys, you're way too young to remember this commercial. There was this commercial that says, and they tell their friends, and they tell their friends, and they tell their friends. Right. And that's how the company grew. And I left NASA in 2013. But my supervisor at the time was like, well, can you be a consultant to us and still come back and do the engineering work? And I said, sure, as long as I'm now paid a consultant and not paid like an employee. And he made the deal work. So over these 5 years, I've grown from literally sitting at my kitchen table with flip chart papers and meetings all over the room to a 5-year-old company that now offers work in 3 specific areas: educational support, workforce development and training, and technical services in the field of aerospace, mechanical, and system safety engineering support. And what the Bowie BIC has really done is they've helped me grow my business to scale for where we are now. I wanted to come in gangbusters. Oh, I'm going to be 8A in a year. I'm going to do this and do that. And Melissa and Lisa said, no, you're not. You need to sit down. You need to figure out how to have a long-term viable business. And that's what we've done, slow and low, over the last 4 or 5 years. So we go to the next slide. That's the highlights. We started off at $11,000 base. Last year we posted over $200,000 in revenue. So though from 2012 to 2013 was 173% growth, last year was nearly 600% growth in revenue. We were able to provide full and part-time jobs to several instructors via subcontracting roles. So we don't despise subcontracting. With an organization that was working with Prince George's County Public Schools, doing what? Providing education to Title I students throughout the county. Because if we can catch these kids between 3rd and 8th grade, I believe that we have some really strong prospects that are going to come out the other end. We are MDOT certified, we're Prince George's County certified, we're Capital Region MSDC, we're certified in North Carolina, Pennsylvania, Georgia, and we're heading out west in 2017 because that's where the aerospace world is, out in Texas, California, and Colorado. So we're going to be moving forward with that. We hosted an intern this year because we wanted to practice before we started bringing in college students. So we hosted an intern from Oxon Hill High School via their academies program. So he was a business major, but because my company does some STEM and science and engineering work, we wanted to tell him, don't be afraid of it. And he will be a Bowie State student next year. So I might get him back as a college intern. But we were able to obtain a line of credit, just continuing to be able to grow. It is such a blessing to be a part of this organization and to have the team that I have. Pamela Adoy Etzum is not here. Sharice is another one of our employees. She is not here today, but you're only as good as your team. So I'm thankful for the team that I'm on in terms of the Bowie Big with Lisa, Melissa, the board, all of the staff here, Dean Nelson and the facilities. So we are really growing. Fed contracts, we're at the State Department, we're at Consumer Financial Protection Bureau. We just want some work with FDA, so I'm going to be starting that one pretty soon. And our goal is once we get in, we're just like a wormhole. We're not going to leave. We're just going to wrap ourselves around your organization until you just need us everywhere. And it's been a great opportunity. Thank you and the council for your support financially to the Big. Things like that are really what help keeps it growing. And even though I graduate next year, the goal is to just continue to be able to be a part of the give back
We're not letting you
to
go.
the Big. My role might change. So you turn from being a client, but the key would be from the ecosystem that Dean Nelson mentioned. As we grow and graduate, it's only right that we turn back around and give back in. So that's part of the long-term growth strategy of the company.
Now, Marcellus is the 2015 Bowie Incubator Business of the Year. He had a busy year, and I'm going to just let him talk, but you've got 3 minutes.
I have less than 3 minutes. I have to walk down the hall. Well, first, let me thank both of you for coming out today. This is a great pleasure to see our acting county executive, our county executive in our location. This is wonderful. I really appreciate you guys for coming out. So Avant-Garde, we're a technology company. We perform software development services. We support, Intel community, DoD, and we're also supporting commercial clients now with our cloud computing platform. So some of our accomplishments in 2015, well, really, let's say 14, 15. We were 8A certified, we're MDOT certified. We are working with G2, a company out in Columbia. We're one of their partners. We're on a team that won a very large contract to do software development, information assurance services. And we're also working out with a lot of the tier 1 integrators like Northrop Grumman, Leidos. So we're trying to expand our capabilities and our opportunities that are sitting there in front of us. Like Lisa said, this year we had a lot of tremendous success. We were given the 2015 Bowie Incubator Business of the Year Award, and it's been a great experience here. And I'd like to say that the best thing about being in a facility like this is the resources, the support, the energy amongst all the other entrepreneurs, access to the students. This is a great partnership between entrepreneurs and our educational institutions and also our community. Now, Lisa had a chance to work with the Ideas competition individuals. I had a chance to meet with them one-on-one, get them some books, things that I want them to read, so that as they come back for the next school year, we can continue to figure out how to get their ideas moving forward. So the program has been great for me. I've benefited in so many ways, I can't even begin to articulate them all, but I'm just glad to be here. I'm glad to support the state, the county, and our tax dollars are great use in this manner, and I'm just glad to be here. So I want to thank you, and I'm sorry this is so short today, but I do have a commitment that I must get to. But I'm proud to be here, and I thank you all.
No, thank you.
Okay. I'd like to get Steve Allenby, CEO and founder of Hobby Pro. Steve is working in a very, very technological kind of area, but it's got an interesting personal component to it too, so I'll let you take it away from there.
All right.
3 minutes.
Well, thank you all for coming out. I'm going to be pretty brief here. First, Hobby Pro is a social hub. A lot of people, you have to put, when you're building a company, you have to put it into a space for people to be able to relate to it. So I had to basically say it's social media, but we're a little bit more than social media. We cover e-commerce as well as events and social media and a few other things as well. The name Hobby Pro, at the end of the day, I want hobbyists to end up becoming professionals in what they do. That's why the name is there like that. Basically what we do, I ran into this challenge when I moved down here from Cleveland. The challenge of relocating, finding things that finding things that you used to know in your old city and trying to get an opportunity to do them here in the new city and meet new people and everything else. So that first line there, our social hub addresses the challenges of relocating, looking for people with the same interests, feeling unproductive online, or simply feeling stuck in the rut. That was me. As an entrepreneur, I grew up in a household full of entrepreneurs, built a business with my brother, and came to the realization that when you're building a business, or when you want to be an entrepreneur, you have to reach out and find a product or something that you want. I've thought of countless products. This one here came to mind at night when I was sleeping. I said, I must work on this. Dropped everything else, have a couple patents. I had dropped to the side everything else. I said, I must finish this. It started back in 2012. So from airplanes to Zumba, we ignite your interest in the hobbies, provide an outlet to enjoy each day with personalized one-stop hobby experience. You get an opportunity to shop. You get an opportunity to find events on a local base or on a national base. You build friendships on there. There's coupons that relate to your event as well. So if you're an avid fisherman, all that stuff will fall right up under fishing. If you're in other social accounts, those other social accounts will actually be tailored down to your hobby. So for Facebook, instead of getting all the other information about what everybody else is doing, you're going to get the information based upon what you want to have. That said, you can go to flip over. Thus far, I actually partnered with two people here. One is my my chief technical officer, Rob Whistle of Raw Data. I partnered with Andrew as well. He's with Waza Media. He built a video for me. And we built our minimum viable product. We amassed over 3,500 interested users thus far. We've been in the Gazette as one of their featured companies. And I networked with investors in DC, around here, out in California as well. So looking to grow those relationships and utilize the advantages that they may be able to help us with in moving forward. Currently, I'm hiring 3 brand representatives to go out and gain founding users. What we call them founding users are people that are coming on board. They're going to be our core team, so our core users. So 2,500, maybe 5,000 users in which we're looking to have as the base of the company. I'm looking to present the company at local and national startup venues. One of them is Tech Buzz. I'm set up to do a tech breakfast. I don't know if anybody heard of Tech Breakfast before.
Those are our tech meetups we talk about.
Tech Breakfast happens in Columbia, Baltimore, out in California, down in Texas. It spun off of meetup.com, and now basically you go around, you meet other entrepreneurs and investors as well. I'm scheduled on the calendar there in September to present my company to them. We're also looking to gain sponsorships with local companies because the way that the platform is built up, we must generate revenue. One of them is through sponsorships. And then we're looking to raise capital for further company growth. That's really it in a nutshell. Go to hobbypro.com, check it out, sign up, you'll be able to read a little bit more about it. Thank you all.
Okay, and then finally, fresh from her interview with PBS the day before yesterday, clutching her Beacon newspaper clipping, this company has more media coverage than anybody except the county executive for a day and her assistant, I'd say. So, Bonnie, we'd love it if you would talk to us a little bit about Golden Girls Network. I know we talked a little bit in the doorway, but...
I would love to. You can't stop me from talking about Golden
3 minutes.
I'm sorry. Golden Girls Network is a database for matching mature adults who are interested in shared living and living like the Golden Girls. That's the story. I have had a Golden Girls house for 8 years now, here in Bowie. And my experience is what the basis of the organization. So our mission is to develop more houses just like mine, all over the country. We have been live for just over a year. We have 900 people in 47 states. We will have 1,000 people by the end of July who have signed up with us. And there are 2 main values of living like a Golden Girl. One of it is you cut your housing costs in half. The second is companionship, because living alone is a big issue for adults. I was actually launched a year and a half ago at the National Aging in Place, American Society of Aging in San Diego. I was invited to do a presentation even before we had gone live. So, that's who I am. My background is I'm an accountant and a lawyer, and I worked as a management consultant, and this is so much more fun. And our services. As I mentioned, we have a database. We built a database, and that's basically what we are. We're a marketing company, and what we're doing is selling a new idea, and we're adding shared housing to the aging in place concept. They love us. They love the idea of getting 2 or 3 women to move in together and share a house just like the Golden Girls. We also have a 4-hour workshop where we teach people how to do this. And it's based upon the book that I wrote called How to Start a Golden Girls Home. I took all of my bad experiences and put them into a book and said, this is how you really do it. So this is on Amazon. It's selling nicely. And what we are working on is taking the same concept to a slightly older age group where we would have a home companion program, where we would put a healthy single woman in a home with someone a little bit older who needs a little bit of assistance so she can stay in her home. And it's one person gets inexpensive rent, the other person gets help, and it doesn't cost anything. Wow. So that's our next adventure is our home companion program. And marketing, oh, I gotta show you. Yeah. Beacon newspaper, July 2015. Okay, this is a regional newspaper addressing for the over 50 crowd. And quarterly they come out with a housing supplement, and I'm the cover girl. Look at me. Look at me. So here I am, and we are getting a lot of national media attention because this is an important concept, and we have identified a market with a huge need. Single older people, primarily women, who struggle sometimes to have enough money to live as they age. So what I would actually like to do is to present a copy of my book to the county executive today. And I'm hoping that you will pass this along to your Office and Aging Department, because I would like to work with you. I'm soliciting your business. And here's a brochure and a business card and one for you to engage.
Thank you.
Can we get a picture like we did?
Absolutely.
Oh, okay.
Absolutely, Mr. Baker.
Book? How would you like to set that up?
So here's my book. I'll autograph it if you want.
Please, that would be great. She would love
I
that.
would like to be in this picture. Okay, Bonnie and the book.
Bonnie and the book.
Come over here.
That's great.
Mr. Baker, please.
Mr. Baker,
I'm the assistant.
you're the assistant.
Do you want to jump in there too?
Yeah, I'll jump in here too.
We're going to make this real quick.
The moral support team here.
All right, everyone look this way, please. Going on 3, 1, 2, and 3. Beautiful. We're going to take one more, please. 1, 2, and 3. Awesome. Thank you.
All right. Let me sign.
Yes, please. Your autograph. Mike, can you get a picture of the autograph?
Thank you very much. All right. Yeah.
Make sure I'm out of the way.
There you go.
Thank you, Bonnie.
County Executive Price told me on the way in that she really didn't know much about incubators. So the question now is, do you know more? Okay. Now, I'm going to give you a test. Just kidding. No, you should see her face.
Yeah, her assistant's face went down.
I hope you found this presentation interesting. We covered a lot of material, and there was even humor in there, humor and success, which is great. But I'd like just to point out a couple of statistics for you, just to show you how valuable small businesses are in the American economy. 99.7% of all businesses in the United States are small businesses. Now, it's not the revenue. Those General Motors and the Apple and those folks have the big numbers. But 99.7% are small businesses. New job opportunities. 64% of all new jobs are hired by small businesses, which means small businesses hire more employees than major corporations. And 44% of the American income, payroll income, comes from small businesses, 44%. So there's some interesting numbers. Now, why do we need business incubators? 2/3 of businesses survive up to 2 years, 2/3, which means 1/3 doesn't make it. More importantly, 50% of all small businesses don't make it to 5 years. That means 1/2 of all small businesses fail within 5 years. And the reason why they fail is because they run out of money. So why do they run out of money? They run out of money because they misspent the money that they had, because they did not have the resources that are offered by the Bowie BIC. We have resources everywhere that will help small businesses graduate and be successful. You can't start a business by the seat of your pants. Failure is almost always assured. So that's the value that we offer. That's the value that hopefully all incubators offer. Now it's time for questions. Okay, that means we really did a great job.
You did a terrific job. I mean, it was very, very impressive. You know, I'm so glad that I know that I got to assist the county executive on this tour today. This is an excellent one, not only to expose Ms. Price, but our staff on what you're doing here and how it's integrated. We like, you know, the businesses that we've met are fantastic. You know, what an inspiration they are. And the other thing is, I want to thank the dean. I don't know if he's still here. Yeah. I mean, the entrepreneurial program, having that as a major. I know one of the things that when I came out of law school, you know, I went to Howard University, and a number of the attorneys were not going to go work for a firm. But none of us, at least most of us, I certainly didn't, I majored in history, know how to actually run a business. So there we were, starting a law firm, and we knew nothing about how to run a business, which is what it was. And 90% of us ended up not going into staying in law, but we ran for office and were running corporations and not knowing what we were doing. Having that major, and then going on to do other things is critical. So we love this. We love the fact that you're connected to a historically black college. The other thing is having the professors, the students, the entrepreneurs all here feeding off each other, and that synergy and that energy is exactly what we want to see in Prince George's County and in the state. I know, you know, Darren was when we were in the House together, the first people to bring a lot of the small and minority businesses down to the General Assembly and get them to understand how important it was for them to be politically connected as well as running your business, because as I'm sure you find out with the businesses here, you're so busy trying to get that business off the ground, you forget there's another part to it. And if you don't have that connection and exposure, you can't get because at the end of the day, it's about getting work. And also at the end of the day, for governments, it's about you getting work. So you hire more people, they pay more taxes, we can do the things that we need. So this has been a great exposure for us. We love it, you know. I don't want to speak for the county executive, but, you know, I certainly, you know, support this. Frank, you have anything?
I liked it.
There you go.
I have one question. What surprised you? Was there anything that you would never have thought? Did we surprise you in any way with what our companies are doing or how we're doing it?
I never would have thought that y'all would be here with the students and y'all would talk with the students. And yeah,
That's the future. We talked about that.
Yeah. So great.
We see it all the time. Very good, thank you. That inspires us.
Yes.
So we would love to keep you the whole rest of the week, but I don't think Mr. Hawkins will let us do that.
Because he's packing his bags.
Yeah, so we just want to say a very, very big thank you, as Adam said, you know, I'm sorry that our morning got a little bit away from things, but we were able to do all the things we wanted to, and that's what matters.
And you know, it's like running a business. Sometimes that's what happens, you know, so we're very pleased.
We're flexible, we learned that
Yes.
from our business. Yes. So this has just been a great pleasure, a great, great pleasure.
Thank you very much.
It really is.
Yeah.
Ms. County Executive, if you have any questions about college or anything, feel free to give me a call.
Thank you.
Or send me an email.
And we will advertise
Thing, look you up when I get the card.
I wanted to tell you, my neighbor.
Several years ago, she came to me and she said, there's this guy who's running for office, you need to follow him. That was your first campaign, and I've been following you ever since.
I was going to say, she's among those small group of people, actually.